Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Balaba Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Balaba Girivaradari. Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari. Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yasodhanandana Braja Jana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vishnupat Paramam Saparibrajacharya Satarasata Shishimad His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupat Paramaham Saparibrajacharya Asatarasata Shishimad His Divine Grace Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Kuri Vaishnava Ki Jai Namacharya Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavan Ki Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadi Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Truth Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Yagya Ki Jai Grandaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Samaveta Bhaktavani Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bol All glories to the Sambodhi Bodhis Hare Krishna All glories to the Sambodhi Bodhis Hare Krishna All glories to the Sambodhi Bodhis Hare Krishna All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga All glories to Srila Prabhupada Namaste Praya Krishna Vistaya Bhutari Sumari Bhakti Vedanta Shamani Dinamani Namaste Saraswati Devi Kodavani Manacharina Nirvishesha Shunavani Pachartaristadine. Hare Krishna, everybody. Tanya, Narasingh Rao, Danny, Binod Kumar, Datta Kadam. Anybody else? Please write Hare Krishna into the comment section. Dan, Shamdai, thank you for tagging. Also Tanya, Sachin. Katie. Dhanjay Kumar Tiwari. Okay, anybody else? Neil Prabhu, Hare Krishna, Neil. Markunse, yes. Glorious devotee, Markunse. Bronwyn, Hare Krishna. And we have TikTok, Hare Krishna. Someone is watching. Doris. Hare Krishna, Doris. We have 18 viewers. Not bad. Let's increase to 19 million, please. Then I will be satisfied. Andrew. Hare Krishna, Andrew. I see you've been regular lately. Very good. Okay, so what about the other kicks and schmicks?
Currently, nobody.
Nobody. YouTube? Okay. So everybody's sleeping in Maya. Okay, what can be done? So today we begin a new chapter, 13, the appearance of Lord Varaha. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Sri Shuka Uvacha.
Shukavacha.
Nishamya Vacham Vadato.
Nishavachavato.
Mune Punyatamam Nripa.
Nirvyatam Nipa.
Bhuyaha Papracha Kaurabhyo.
Bhuyaha Prachakauravi.
Vasudeva Katadritaha.
Vasudeva Katadritaha. Shukavacha.
Sri Shuka Uvacha.
Nishamya Vacha Maratu.
Nishamya Vacham Vadato.
Mune Punyatamam Nipa.
Mune Punyatamam Nripa.
Bhuya Papricha Kauravyo.
Bhuya Papracha Kaurabhya.
Vasudeva Kathadritaha.
Vasudeva Katadritaha. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Nishamya Vacham Vadato. Mune Punyatamam Nripa. Bhuya Papracha Kaurabhyo. Vasudeva Katadritaha. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Nishamya Vacham Vadato. Mune Punyatamam Nripa. Bhuya Papracha Kaurabhyo. Vasudeva Katadritaha. Sri Shuka Uvacha. Sri Shukadev Goswami said, Nishamya, after hearing, Vacham, talks, Vadataha, while speaking, Munehe, of Maitreya Muni, Punyatamam, the most virtuous, Nripa, O king, Bhuyaha, then again, Papracha, inquired, Kaurabhya, the best amongst the Kurus, Vidura, Vasudeva Katha, topics on the subject of the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva. Adritaha, one who so adores. Translation. Sri Shuka Goswami said, O king, after hearing all these most virtuous topics from the sage Maitreya, Vidura inquired further on the topics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which he adored to hear. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Adartaha is significant because it indicates that Vidura had a natural inclination for hearing the transcendental message of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he was never fully satisfied, though continuing to hear those topics. He wanted to hear more and more so that he could be more and more blessed by the transcendental message. Next. Vidura Uvacha Savaya Svayam Bhuva Samartha Priya Putra Svayam Bhuva Pratilabhya Priyam Patnim Pratilabhya Priyam Kim Chakara Tato Mune Vidura Uvacha. Vidura said, Saha,
Saha,
he,
he,
by, easily.
easily.
Swayambhuvaha,
Swayambhuvaha,
Swayambhuva Manu,
Swayambhuva
Samrat,
Samrat,
the king of all kings.
king of all kings.
Priyaha,
Priyaha,
dear.
dear.
Putraha,
Putraha,
son.
son.
Swayambhuvaha,
Swayambhuvaha,
O Brahma.
Bhagavan.
Pratilabhya,
Pratilabhya,
after obtaining.
after obtaining.
Priyam,
Priyam,
most loving.
most loving.
Patnim,
Patni,
wife.
wife.
Kim,
Kim,
what?
what?
Chakara,
Chakara,
did.
did.
Tataha,
Tataha,
thereafter.
thereafter.
Mune,
Mane,
O great sage.
O great sage.
Translation. Vidura said, O great sage, what did Swayambhuva, the dear son of Brahma, do after obtaining his very loving wife? Charitam tasya rajarsir adirajasya satama bruhi me shradadhanaya vishvakshenashrayo hiyasau. Charitam, character. Tasya, his. Rajarashe, of the saintly king. Adirajasya, of the original king. Satama, O most pious one. Bruhi, kindly speak. Me, unto me. Shradadhanaya, unto one eager to receive. Vishvakshena, of the personality of Godhead. Ashraya, one who is taking shelter. He, certainly. Asau, that king. Translation. O best of the virtuous, the original king of kings, Manu, was a great devotee of the personality of Godhead, Hari. And thus it is worth hearing of his sublime character and activities. Please describe them. I am very eager to hear. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavatam is full of the transcendental topics of the personality of Godhead and His pure devotees. In the absolute world, there is no difference in quality between the Supreme Lord and His pure devotees. Therefore, hearing the topics of the Lord and hearing of the character and activities of the pure devotee have the same result, namely the development of devotional service. Shrutasya pumsham suchira sharamasya nanu Anjasa suribhiradi idito rataha tatat gunanushravanam mukunda padarabindam hridayeshu yesham. Shrutasya, of persons who are in the process of hearing. Pumsham, of such persons. Suchira, for a long time. Shramasya, laboring very hard. Nanu, certainly. Anjasa, elaborately. Suribi, by pure devotees. Idita, explained by. Artha, statements. Tat, that. Tat, that. Guna, transcendental qualities. Anushravanam, thinking. Mukunda, the personality of Godhead who awards liberation. Padarabindam, the lotus feet. Hridayeshu, within the heart. Yesham, of them. Translation. Persons who hear from a spiritual master with great labor and for a long time must hear from the mouths of pure devotees about the character and activities of pure devotees. Pure devotees always think within their hearts of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead who awards his devotees liberation. Purport. Transcendental students are those who undergo great penance in being trained by hearing the Vedas from a bona fide spiritual master. Not only must they hear about the activities of the Lord, but they must also hear about the transcendental qualities of the devotees who are constantly thinking of the lotus feet of the Lord within their hearts. A pure devotee of the Lord cannot be separated from the lotus feet of the Lord. For even a moment, undoubtedly the Lord is always within the hearts of all living creatures, but they hardly know about it because they are deluded by the illusory material energy. The devotees, however, realize the presence of the Lord, and therefore they can always see the lotus feet of the Lord within their hearts. Such pure devotees of the Lord are as glorious as the Lord. They are in fact recommended by the Lord as more worshipable than He Himself. Worship of the devotee is more potent than worship of the Lord. It is therefore the duty of the transcendental students to hear of pure devotees, as explained by similar devotees of the Lord, because one cannot explain about the Lord or His devotee unless one happens to be a pure devotee himself. Om Agyantirinandasya Jnana Shalakayam Chakshunan Minitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. I was born in the darkness of ignorance, and my spiritual master, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, has opened my darkened eyes with the torchlight of transcendental knowledge. I offer my humble obeisances unto His lotus feet. Jai Srila Prabhupada. So, this is very important point Srila Prabhupada is making here. Sometimes neophyte devotees, they put more emphasis on the worship of Krishna. And they think that the glorification of the devotees is less important. So this is not so. Srila Prabhupada says that in the transcendental, on the transcendental platform, there is no qualitative difference between the Lord and the devotee. In the spiritual world, everything is Sat Chit Ananda. Everything is eternal, full of knowledge and full of bliss. Not like here. Here everything is relative, everything is conditioned, there are limitations, there are distinctions, differences. So we should not think that devotees or the Lord are contaminated by material energy, by material nature. This is a very important point. Even when Krishna comes into this world, and even when Krishna disappears from this world, His appearance and disappearance are transcendental. Janma karma chame divyam yoveti tatva evam yoveti tatvata tyaktva adhyam puna janmana iti mameti so Arjuna. Krishna explains, my janma, my appearance, and my karma, my activities in this material world, if you understand them to be transcendental, you will never come back to this material world to suffer miseries of the material existence. You'll be liberated. This is the secret of liberation. If you want to be liberated, you must understand how Krishna is liberated from the modes of material nature, and how His devotees are also liberated from the modes of material nature. This is the secret. But instead of accepting this transcendental fact, we are confused, we are mistaken, we think that we are liberated. We are God. And we try to subject the Lord and His devotees to some material criteria. So we must understand that actually we're not liberated. That is the first teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna could see the limitations of his consciousness, of his situation, of his dharma. There are limitations. Limitations to his knowledge. And with that humble, submissive spirit, he surrendered to Krishna and he accepted him as his spiritual master. This is required. We must acknowledge this. Yes, I am conditioned. I am foolish. I do not know how things are taking place. I must surrender. I must accept a spiritual transcendental authority to ascertain the course of my activities. So unfortunately, we all think, oh, I'm okay, I'm all right. If someone asks you, how are you? You say, oh, I'm fine. So is that correct? No. You're fool number one, a rascal. A rascal number one for saying that. I am fine. What is that fine? You're subjected by birth. You're subjected by death. There's disease. New pandemic is coming up. And there is, even if you don't have any of these problems, ultimately you have to get old. You have to get old. So, the next time you say, I am fine, then I'm going to beat you with a shoe. That you liar, you rascal. You're not fine. You're suffering. You're miserable. And on top of that, there are the three kleshas. Adi Daivika, Adi Bhotika, Adi Atmika. The sufferings inflicted by the mind and the body. The sufferings inflicted by other living entities. And the sufferings inflicted by nature. Just like now in London, it's very, very cold. Devotees, they have to go out, distribute books in great cold. Hare Krishna, Sarva Lakshmi. So we're constantly suffering. Don't think foolishly, oh, I am happy. Anyone who says I am happy, he should be strapped into this, how do you say, straight jacket and sent to madhouse. He's a madman. Because at every step we see so much suffering. We undergo so much suffering. So it is irrational to think, I am very happy. You're not very happy, you're not happy, you're nothing. You're constantly suffering. So this is important. It is not that this is negative thinking. It's not negative thinking. This is absolutely necessary. Otherwise, we will not be able to develop this quality of Shushruta. Shushruta. Here it is mentioned. Shukari Goswami, he said that, O king, after hearing all these most virtuous topics from the sage Maitreya, Vidura inquired further on the topics of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, he was eager to hear. Vidura was eager to hear. Maharaj Parikshit was eager to hear. Arjuna was eager to hear also. They were all eager to hear. Why? Because they were realizing the real position of material existence. It is full of suffering. Temporarily, we have some happiness. Oh, I found the love of my life. Oh, I'm so happy now. Or I have got this job that I wanted so much. Oh, or I got 10,000 subscribers on my Instagram. I almost said sexagram. Instagram. So I am very happy. Yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo. But the nature of material happiness, it is temporary. Matra sparsastu konteya sitosna sukha dukkada agama paino anitya stamtitikshashva bharata. Everything impermanent, just like the seasonal changes, winter, summer. In the winter you complain, too cold, too cold. So then there's summer, oh, too hot, too hot. Always complaining, never satisfied. So Krishna, he says, tolerate. Try to cultivate this Brahminical quality of tolerance. Yesterday we were discussing how to think of Krishna at the time of death. You have to practice nice shikshastakam. Besides chanting, you also add shikshastakam to your sadhana. Shikshastaka means Tinarapi suni chena tarorapi saishnuna amanina manadena. Be more humble than a blade of grass. Be more tolerant than a tree. And give praise to others, especially to the devotees. Then you can chant constantly, and when you can chant constantly, then you can think of Krishna constantly. Those who cannot chant constantly, who have interruptions, they cannot think of Krishna. That is simply cheating. So, this is required. This quality of shushutsa, eagerness to hear. And that is based on our understanding of the true nature of material existence. So this is why we cannot hear. If you have any such difficulty to read Srila Prabhupada's books or to come to the class, or you're not interested in these topics, that's because you think, I am very happy here in this material world and there is no misery. So then of course you feel no interest because you think, I have everything what I wanted. See, Maharaj Parikshit, he was in a precarious position. 7 days until his death. He was aware that after 7 days I'm going to die. Arjuna, similar. He could see that he was in a war and he was just about to start a war where his family members would get slaughtered. So, of course, we don't have to wait until such an event happens in our own life. We should not be so foolish. Intelligent, first-class intelligence is that you hear from the spiritual master and you accept it. Yes. He is a higher form of experience because he is my spiritual master. So if I hear from him, then I save myself so much trouble. Right? Second class intelligence is that although I have heard from the Guru, I go on like a nonsense and wait until that event comes. And a third class intelligence, yes, Danny, please save the discussion for later. There's not a problem of talking, but later we're going to discuss at the question and answer section, and we can discuss very nicely. So third class intelligence, that even the Guru said, and even I'm experiencing kicks on my face. Birth, death, old age and disease, Adi Bhotika, Adi Atmika, Adi Devika. I go on. I don't get it. Unfortunately, this is the case with most of the people, especially in Kali Yuga. Manda sumanda matayo, everyone lazy. What? Spiritual realization? What? What are you on about? Get out. Come to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. What? Get out. Not interested. Let me go on sexogram. That is my pleasure in life. So, this is very important. This culture of hearing. You can see how much time and space is dedicated to the culture, to the explanation of culture of hearing. How the sages of Naimisharanya, because the Bhagavatam is spoken by different persons at different times and circumstances. It begins with Maharaj Parikshit Shukara Goswami, then actually begins with Sutta Goswami and the sages of Naimisharanya. Then Maharaj Parikshit, Shukara Goswami, then here Maitreya and Vidura, and then others, Narada, Yudhishthir Maharaj, so many speakers in the Bhagavatam. So when the sages assembled in the forest of Naimisharanya, they selected what is his name? Sanaka Rishi. They selected Sanaka Rishi because he was the most experienced. And similarly, when Shukara Goswami was speaking the Bhagavatam, also they have selected, all the sages were there, Narada, Vyasadeva, everyone was there, but they selected Shukara Goswami. So the speaker must be qualified. Here, Prabhupada says that we should hear about pure devotees Shonaka Rishi. No, Shonaka Rishi was represented. Sutta Goswami. Yes, Sutta Goswami. There were two. Shonaka Rishi was representing the sages of Naimisharanya, and Sutta Goswami was the speaker. Anyway, here Prabhupada says, it is therefore the duty of the transcendental students to hear of pure devotees as explained by similar devotees of the Lord. Because one cannot explain about the Lord or his devotee unless one happens to be a pure devotee himself. So the speaker of Bhagavatam must be qualified. This is number one criterion to establish the culture of hearing. So he must be qualified. He must be a pure devotee. There are different kinds of devotees. It is not that everyone is on the same platform. Just like the Guru. Why I go to the Guru? Because he is more elevated than me. If the Guru is on equal platform with me, why do I accept him as a Guru? That is simply a show. Sometimes foolish people think that, I am as good as Prabhupada. And they're criticizing Prabhupada. So then why are you accepting him as your Guru? You're not accepting. Guru means heavy with knowledge. He must be superior to you. So if you don't think that Prabhupada is superior to you, then why are you accepting him? You are fake. So there are three preliminary categories of devotees. Kanishtarikari, as I said before, Kanishtarikari is simply attracted to the worship of the Lord. That is, of course, very good, better than the atheist. But it is not complete. Madhyamadikari, the middle situated in the middle level of advancement, he understands the importance of devotee association. And he can glorify the devotees also. He understands that glorification of Krishna means not just Krishna, but glorification of his name, fame, pastimes, paraphernalia, and associates. Devotees are associates of Krishna. Without the devotees, imagine, we would have this temple, but there will be no devotees. And such a temple is useless. That is useless. The devotees, they evoke the presence of the Lord. They evoke by their consciousness. Because they always think of Krishna. Manmana, always think of Krishna. They evoke his presence. We don't have that consciousness. How Srila Prabhupada is thinking of Krishna. We don't have that. We can't match that. But if we associate with Srila Prabhupada, then we can come to that same position. So Madhyamadikari, he understands. And he does not waste time. This is one of the qualifications of a Madhyamadikari. Doesn't waste time. We're wasting time because we don't understand the value of devotees. We think, he's just like me. He's also eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Who cares? We don't understand. Oh, he's superior. Superior to me. So, Madhyamadikari. And then Uttamadikari is topmost. Topmost perfect. So the speaker, he should be topmost devotee. That is why the Srimad Bhagavatam, this particular edition, is so valuable. Because it is translated and the commentary is given by a pure devotee. Pure devotee. So when we're hearing these purports, we're hearing from a pure devotee. We're not speculating about the mind of Vidura or Shukara Goswami or Krishna or Swayambhava Manu. We're hearing the explanation from a pure devotee who has a perfect realization of these devotees. And if we hear from some rascals, some neophytes who are posing as pure devotees and speculating nonsense, then we become misguided. Something that might look like a glorification of the devotees, actually it is poison. And Sanatana Goswami, he has warned us in this famous statement. Just like snake becomes more venomous by drinking milk, similarly, if the nectarian topics of Krishna are handled by a non-devotee, they turn into poison. So we have to have the discrimination. A Madhyamadikari, he can discriminate. This is a devotee, this is a non-devotee. Kanishta Adhikari is simply attached to the externals. External signs. Oh, he has a big beard. Oh, he must be a pure devotee. Oh, he was born in India. Oh, he must be a pure devotee. See, completely material consideration. Time, place, circumstance. They think that time, place, and circumstance is important in devotional service. It is not. Bhakti is transcendental. Pure devotees are transcendental also. It's nothing to do with it. So, if we have that opportunity to hear about pure devotees from other pure devotee, then that becomes very pleasing to Krishna. Because Krishna loves his devotees more than he loves himself. This is the secret. If you want to know secret of advancement, many times devotees are asking, what is your secret? Purujit, how come you're so advanced? Although I am not, but sometimes they ask me like that. This is the secret. It is open secret. Now I'm giving you the secret, take it. Hear about pure devotees. Try to hear about pure devotees. It is more important than to hear about Krishna. Because we cannot understand about Krishna. We're hearing about Krishna just like the Rasa Leela. You hear about Krishna, how Krishna is kissing a gopi or something like that. And immediately the mind is thinking, oh, sex, like me. Sexagram. Yes? So although these pastimes are completely pure, there is no material contamination in Krishna's dealing with the gopis. But because my mind is so contaminated, everything goes through this filter of lust. Filter of lust. So I cannot hear. But if I hear about pure devotees, about their activities, the pure devotees are showing us the example. Their lives are nothing but example for us to follow. We become inspired to perform devotional service. Prabhupada actually uses that same word. They become attracted to Prabhupada says, therefore hearing the topics of the Lord and hearing of the character and activities of the pure devotee have the same result, namely the development of devotional service. So if we hear about Krishna and if we hear about the devotees, the proper result should be development of devotional service. If we're simply hearing, but no service attitude is developing, we're not developing any desire to serve Krishna, then either that speaker is bogus, we're hearing from a bogus speaker, or we are bogus. We still don't understand that material existence is full of suffering. We're hearing from a puffed up position. Oh, what can you offer me? Krishna. What is Bhagavatam? How it can help my sense gratification. These two. A bogus speaker or bogus hearer. So we must test. Am I developing the desire to serve this mission of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? And if that desire is not developing, then I must reflect and reform, correct the process. The eagerness to serve Krishna is within everyone. Every single living entity have this desire. They all have this desire within themselves. But it is covered by different layers of lust. So that we have to distinguish, not to confuse the two. So hearing about the character, pastimes of the devotees is very, very beneficial. The more you advance in your Krishna consciousness, the more you realize how effective is to hear about pure devotees. This is one of the reasons I have decided to compile this biography of Srila Prabhupada, actually, and this statement is included in the introduction. It is more important for us to hear about Srila Prabhupada from a bona fide source, not from some speculation. This biography is special because it is compiled from the statements of Srila Prabhupada himself. It is not my book. So the more we hear about Srila Prabhupada, the more we advance in Krishna consciousness. And the more we hear about Krishna without any guidance, through speculation, the more we become degraded. So please know this point. It is the secret of advancement. The more you understand the nature of a pure devotee, at least to a certain extent, the more you understand about the nature of Krishna. Krishna reveals himself. If you're hearing so nicely about his pure devotees, when you're interested about hearing about them, Krishna becomes very, very inclined to give his mercy. He's very pleased to hear that. And if you're negligent, if you say, oh, why should I hear about devotees? I only hear about Krishna. Krishna is 1,000,000 miles away from you. Krishna is not pleased. Because just consider, when you go back home, back to Godhead, if you go back to Krishna, Krishna is not alone there. He is surrounded by millions and millions of devotees. Just like we pray every morning. Krishna is surrounded by thousands and thousands of Lakshmis, goddesses of fortune, They're serving Him nicely. It is not that Krishna is alone there, that you go to the spiritual world and there's only you and Krishna. And then you tell Krishna, oh, now you brush my shoes. It is not like that. You are a servant of Krishna. You are one of unlimited servants of Krishna. If you become a rascal, Krishna is not diminished in his opulence. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam. It is for your benefit to serve Him. So this is why it's important to hear about Krishna's pure devotees. All right, now questions?
I have a question.
You have the mic?
Two questions. Yeah. I'm just wondering if you can elaborate. Like, I didn't quite like. What is the example of hearing about? Because is hearing Prabhupada purports also hearing about pure devotees? Because
Of course.
there's also many pure devotees in the Bhagavatam, let's say, who tell the stories. So this is the same.
Yes, of course.
But what is then example of someone who hears about Krishna but doesn't hear about pure devotees? I'm just trying to understand.
I gave the example, hearing the Rasa Leela
Yeah.
about the loving affairs of Krishna and the gopis without any guidance, and you're speculating and you see it in a mundane way.
So not taking from the purports of Acharya.
Yes. Jumping over. Oh, I am qualified. Huh? Bhaktivinoda Thakur, when Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he wanted to print this Govinda Lilamrita, very confidential literature. Bhaktivinoda Thakur said, yes, you can print, no problem. One copy for you. That's all. It is not meant for neophyte devotees. But nowadays everybody's reading, oh rascals. They don't follow any of Srila Prabhupada's instructions. They're all reading and speculating and then having illicit sex and abortions. Yes, that is going on, even in Vrindavan.
See. And I have another question, is just because you mentioned that you must follow the hear from a pure devotee. So, but isn't like, and then you mentioned that someone example of someone who is speaking, but is it okay to hear from anyone who's reading from, let's say, who's giving classes or elaborating upon Prabhupada's books? Are they all of equal value? Because
You must speak according to the Guru. Then he is also Guru. Then he is also Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru. But if he speaks contrary to Prabhupada, then he's not a Guru, is nothing. He's a demon. Anyone can be Guru. If you just repeat what Prabhupada says, you're Guru. You don't have to be a great scholar and write, like Srila Prabhupada. Just repeat. Whatever you have heard, repeat. Prabhupada says, chant Hare Krishna, you tell someone chant Hare Krishna, you're Guru. So these classes, we're just repeating what Prabhupada said. We don't go over. We might not be so intelligent, we might not know so many Sanskrit shlokas, but we only repeat what Prabhupada says. Whatever I have spoken today, you can trace in Prabhupada's teachings. I can show you everything. All the quotes I will show you.
how can you ascertain whether
I can show you the quotes.
Sure.
You can compare.
Yeah.
Prabhupada's books are there.
But
No speculation.
Yeah. But
Yes.
there's so many speakers. How can I ascertain whether the speaker is
I'm
repeating
explaining
after
you.
Prabhupada?
Prabhupada's books are there. You must compare.
How do I compare if I haven't read
Take
all
a
the books?
book, listen, compare. What is the difficulty?
Well, because I haven't read all the Prabhupada's
So
books.
then that is your problem. That is your mudha. Because you're not reading.
So if I read it, then I'll be
How
able...
can you verify? Then you're fool number one and you want to decide now. Be a big judge. You must be qualified also.
So qualification is to read Prabhupada's books.
And you were asking me this?
Yeah.
That's a fact, of course. You must read Prabhupada's books, all. Lectures, classes, conversations, so much Prabhupada gave. No time. No time to waste.
So if I read and then I'll be able to ascertain.
Then you, yes,
who's a
of course.
Bona fide
Then it will be very easy. You will see everything you will see. Oh, immediately, it's bogus. Prabhupada never said this. Even if you don't have perfect knowledge, you will see something, you will feel something is not right. This doesn't align with Prabhupada's mood, what this person is saying here. You feel agitation. This is the benefit. This is the effect of reading Prabhupada's books. Otherwise, what we say, Om Agyantiri Nandasya, you have opened my eyes with the torchlight of transcendental knowledge. He opens your eyes, then you see, yes, this is a bogus speaker. But if you don't read, then be cheated, be doomed. What can be done? Ignorance means that the books are there, but you're ignoring them. Ignorance doesn't mean that, oh, you must have some intellectual great capacity and have a diploma and be a PhD. No, ignorant means knowledge is there, you're ignoring it. Oh, later. I am happy. How are you? I am fine.
Someone once asked, if I made the third question in this regard.
No, some others.
Okay,
No.
sorry.
Krishna Prema is asking, Prabhu, what do you mean interruptions in reference to chanting? No, just like you chanting, japa, and then you talk some nonsense. In middle of chanting, you stop and you go and you say, is there more halaba? Does reading a class by Prabhupada disciple count as reading? Yeah, provided he repeats Prabhupada, then yes. If he doesn't repeat, then what kind of reading is that? Then, as I said, that is snake, milk touched by snakes. Daivi Shakti, is it possible for a neophyte devotee not to be affected by the dualities, happiness, distress, if the process is followed perfectly? Or is it necessary to make mistakes in spiritual life if not liberated? By mistakes, I don't mean fall downs. So what do you mean then? What is that? Prabhupada mentions in the 4th canto that the follower might not be liberated, but if he strictly follows the disciplic succession, then he becomes free from the 4 defects. So here's your answer. Yes, it is possible, but you must follow strictly. Krishna Prema, even if you read one of Prabhupada's small books, you will be able to identify bogus speakers, because his mood and his message is crystal clear, and bogus is always watered down. So-called love. Yeah, it's like there's this group, they say, one love. Huh? They have this slogan, one love, everyone one love. So just love, just love. But what that love is, you love me, give me all money, and go to hell. That is the idea of love. Shamda is asking, did Srila Prabhupada ever mention whether it is imperative to take initiation from a spiritual master, or if one is okay following only his instructions? See, you asking this question, you asked this before, and I always answer it, and then you ask it again. So I don't know exactly what is not clear. Initiation means following the instructions. That is your initiation. That is your initiation. The Prabhupada, there's a direct quote like this. One says, following, your desire to preach and follow the instructions, that is your initiation. Maybe you can find this. You know this?
I do not know, but...
My touch is simply formality, he says. So that is initiation. What are you following? The Guru. Don't think the initiation is this fire yagya, and this is also important. We don't neglect it. Just like here in our temple, all the devotees are initiated. But if you don't follow that, then initiation is useless. That means nothing. Empty ritual. Just like in marriage. There is a wedding, there is a ceremony, the priest comes and everything. So, yeah, it's important. But if the wife goes with some other husband somewhere else, then what kind of marriage is that? Or the husband goes with some other woman. So follow Srila Prabhupada, but if you go to other gurus, then how are you following Srila Prabhupada? Hearing from this guru, that guru, so-called guru, rascals, offenders, those who are competing with Srila Prabhupada. They say, I am the guru, now Prabhupada is dead. And you're hearing from such rascals? How are you following Srila Prabhupada? You must be faithful. Don't associate with such rascals. Don't hear from such nonsense people.
I have the quote.
Yes? So, yeah, Nityananda is going to read the quote.
This is from BTG, Search for the Divine.
Yes.
Prabhupada says, initiation is a formality. If you are serious, that is real initiation.
If you're serious, see, that is the qualification. You're serious. So if you're serious, then you must follow the instructions. You're not following the instructions and you say, I'm serious. This is a joke. Follow the instruction. Prabhupada says, those who do not accept, those who do not follow, those who have different opinion from the spiritual master, they're not guru, they're demons. And you're hearing from demons and you say, oh, I'm following Srila Prabhupada's instruction. Prabhupada directly says, don't hear from such rascals. Yes?
If you have understood this Krishna philosophy, and if you have decided that you will take Krishna consciousness seriously and preach the philosophy to others, that is your initiation.
That is your initiation, see? So if you have understood seriously and preaching to others, that is the initiation. Very important to preach to others. As I said before, you hearing, but no desire to render any service. So where is your initiation? Where is your relationship with Srila Prabhupada? Non-existent.
My touch is simply a formality.
My touch, when they have initiation, they touch the beats, right? Mm-hmm. So when Prabhupada was here, he was doing personally, then later on he appointed his devotees to do that. So that beat touching is simply formality. It is not so important. Important is what you follow. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Prabhupada says whether one is properly initiated or not is not a question of consideration. So many quotes are there that formal initiation is not important. And still you asking this question, Shamdai. So Prabhupada says so many times, what is the difficulty? Why you have this doubt?
Then Prabhupada just finishes with, it is your determination, that is initiation.
Yes, be determined. Even if there's some reverse, go on, follow Srila Prabhupada. Don't be deviated.
There's another from a letter. Prabhupada says, as you are all following my instruction, in that matter the initiator is already there.
Yes. So many. There's so many quotes. Prabhupada said so many times this. You must follow the instruction. The initiation might be there, might not be there officially. That doesn't matter. You think that if you following Srila Prabhupada everything very strictly, and then you come back to Godhead, Krishna is going to ask you, oh, Are you formally initiated or informally? Krishna doesn't care. Krishna is in your heart. He says in the Bhagavad Gita, this is another evidence, that even the women, Shudras, Vaishyas, even they can reach the supreme destination. So at that time, when Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita, the initiation was done through the Vedic Diksha. And Vedic Diksha means that unless you're born in a Brahminical family, you cannot be initiated formally. And women were not given initiation. Strictly. That was introduced by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. They're giving initiation to women, and then Srila Prabhupada also. So prior to that, there was no initiation. So why Krishna says even women, they can reach the supreme destination? Because the initiation is not the ceremony. Initiation means to follow the instruction. That's what it is. All right? Is that clear, Shamdai, Mataji? It must be now clear. I don't know. Otherwise, I'm going to commit suicide.
Is there anything on TikTok? Because I have it open here, but... Oh yeah, there's many. You want me to read? I can read from...
Where?
From the computer.
Yes.
Okay. TikTok. Plato's Cavern says, "Hi friend, what's your belief?"
No belief. This is science, knowledge. Next.
What does Hare Krishna mean?
Hare means the energy of God, and Krishna means the supreme controller God. So when we say Hare Krishna, we are addressing the energy and the supreme energetic source.
And one person says, "Your God is fake, Krishna is myth." And that's all.
Yeah. And you're going to die. Then you're going to see what is that myth. Krishna comes as death. At one point you're going to die. That's a fact. You might doubt Krishna, but death you cannot doubt. As sure as death. So then you're going to see who is Krishna. It's meaningless.
Is there any question?
That's all.
I have a question from me. So how...
Then you're going to be myth only. When you die, 1,000 years after you die, nobody will remember you. You're going to be a myth. But Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago and still we're glorifying Krishna. So who is that myth? Where is that myth? Show me that myth that 5,000 years after it happened, we're still reading Bhagavad Gita. His book. Where is that? You're going to be myth. See, you think that Krishna is myth, but you are myth. Yes?
Yeah, one may then ask the question that if you right, just by getting Prabhupada's instructions, which are available now everywhere, online, in his books, in conversations, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
then what's the purpose of your temple and your program and your classes?
What's the purpose of the temple?
Yeah, are you specifically like what is going on here?
So
right?
we're discussing Prabhupada's instructions. If you read Prabhupada's books, naturally you want to associate with like-minded devotees. Clarify certain purports, get strength, get encouragement. If you see others also chanting, you're going to increase your faith. The others are following the four regulative principles, so you feel inclined also. Yeah, let me also follow this. This is nice. I can do it also. You might be reading Prabhupada's books and Prabhupada says follow the four principles, and then you might be thinking, oh, maybe, is it really possible? Because I have such difficulty to follow this. Maybe it's meant for another yuga. But when you see now nice devotees here following, Nityananda and Maitreya Prabhu and Daivi Shakti Mataji and all the nice devotees here, then you feel encouraged. Yeah, oh, it is possible. Well, let me also follow. It's very important. You saying, oh, if Prabhupada's in his book, why do we go to the temple? But Prabhupada says in a book, go to the temple. Associate with the devotees. So your point is contradictory. You're contradicting to yourself.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Shristi Kapoor says, what energy is Rama?
Rama means pleasure that you feel, transcendental pleasure when you're in association of Krishna. The pleasure we feel in material life is temporary. But the pleasure of Krishna, relationship with Krishna is eternal. Ramante. Eternal pleasure, yes.
That's it.
All right, thank you so much. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Jai.
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Premanandi Hari 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 Bol. Namo Mishta Paraya Krishna Vastai Bhutare Shmari Bhakti Vedanta Samaniti Namane Namaste Saraswati Reve Gurubani Miracharina Nirvishesha Shunamari Bhaschari.